Chapter 74, New Ability. Shen Yao paid the bill, but before she could even go take a good look at Su Cheng in the ward, she was pulled back by Ran Jing. With his condition right now, doesn't he need someone to take care of him? Shen Yao was getting anxious, seeing that there was only Wang Ying in the room with Su Cheng. How could she give this chance to some other woman? It's fine, I just asked her. She's the representative of Shangchen's military region, and she will be responsible for taking care of him. This time, the city's officials will be coming to award him too. Just go home first and come back to check on Su Cheng when he's better, Ran Jing said as she dragged her away. Do I look like a 3-year-old? You think the military would send someone this pretty as the representative? Shen Yao was obviously unhappy about this arrangement. This woman obviously has other feelings for Su Cheng. So what, you are not Su Cheng's girlfriend? Ran Jing was speechless. I'm just trying to get myself familiar with the role first, Shen Yao replied. Okay, the officials are coming in a bit, it's inconvenient for you to be here. Ran Jing finally pulled Shen Yao away. After they left, Lin Chuxiu finally came out from the washroom, and she went into the ward to see Su Cheng. It was her that asked Ran Jing to take Shen Yao away. She didn't want her relationship with Su Cheng exposed to Shen Yao, or Shen Yao would feel like she never treated her as a real friend since she never told her something as big as this. The relationship between women is very delicate since they are very sensitive. Trust was a very serious and important thing between girlfriends. Just when Lin Chuxiu was about to head in, Lin Lei led their parents and rushed over from the other end of the hall. Lin Gairen's first words were to ask, "How's Cheng doing?" "He's inside," Lin Chuxiu whispered. When Lin Gairen walked in and saw Su Cheng who was still unconscious and laying in the bed, he walked over and sat down by the bed. Across from him was a curious Wang Ying looking at him. "I'm sorry, can you give us a moment?" Lin Chuxiu was scared that Lin Gairen would expose her relationship with Su Cheng, so she greeted Wang Ying in advance. Wang Ying nodded, got up, and left the room. How did this happen? Lin Gairen frowned and asked Lin Chuxiu. Lin Chuxiu told them everything. Lin Gairen sighed, this child. Lin Chuxiu's mother was a wealthy British lady, and she looked to be very wise and gentle. Now that she knew that Su Cheng was no longer in danger, she glanced at her daughter and asked, "What's going on between you two? You've been married for 3 years, so why is there still no news from your tummy?" Lin Chuxiu's face blushed. "Mom, I'm still young. 24 is not young anymore." Her mom gave her a look. Lin Lei sat on the side and didn't say nothing. He just looked at Su Cheng on the bed, and after a while, he finally whispered, "Sis, you should be careful. Based on my experience, that beautiful lady that just went out has a thing for my brother-in-law." Lin Chuxiu gave him a look. "Oh, who's that girl?" Mommy Lin asked in curiosity. "She's someone from the military, I don't know how she knows Su Cheng," Lin Chuxiu said. "Your man knows other girls and you are telling me you don't know how it happened?" Mommy Lin stared at her daughter with a strange face, as if she was interrogating a criminal. Lin Chuxiu couldn't feel more awkward. Of course, she wouldn't know. They had been separated for the past few years, so how would she know if he made another female friend or something? Of course, Lin Chuxiu couldn't tell that to her parents too. In addition, if they were to find out that Su Cheng was also cohabiting with 2 other women instead of her, would they explode? At the thought of this, Lin Chuxiu felt like her brain was a mess. She didn't know how to get through the next few days without her parents detecting any clues that could give away their lie. Thinking about this, she coughed. "Lei, come with me for a second." Lin Xiaoli pouted, and he followed Lin Chuxiu out of the ward to the corridor. "I'm telling you, only you know how Su Cheng and I have been for the past few years. You have to think of a way to help me keep hiding this from Mom and Dad," Lin Chuxiu commanded her little brother. Lin Lei bitterly smiled. "You really think Dad doesn't know? He could easily investigate you since you are a big celebrity now, and Mom and Dad came over this time to get your confession. They already know." Lin Chuxiu was a bit shocked. "How can I not know what kind of temper my daughter has?" At this moment, Lin Gairen had appeared at the door and was staring at her. "Brother Su trusted me so much back in the day to entrust little Cheng with me. I owe Brother Su too much, so I treated Su Cheng like my real son and prepared everything for him. To ensure his lifetime happiness, I married my most treasured daughter to him. It's just that this child resembles Brother Su too much, whether it's his character or temper, he doesn't like to just accept others being nice to him without a reason acceptable to him. In the past, I've turned a blind eye on how you and little Cheng lived when you guys went back to Huaxia. Since there is no possibility for you two to develop towards being a happy couple, then your mom and I will no longer force it on you and Su Cheng. It was Dad's fault, and this time, we came to tell you guys this so you two can get a divorce. Since those two really made no progress in the past few years, Lin Gairan was no longer stubborn and decided that it would be best to just let things run its course. After hearing this, especially the last sentence, her eyes shot wide open. Mommy Lin also walked out and said, "Child, it's Daddy and Mommy's fault, forcing you to marry someone you don't like. I see Su Cheng and you don't really have chemistry. If this is the case, then we give up too. We will respect your decision. If you want to get a divorce, then you can." Lin Chugxiu just stood there, dumbfounded, and she suddenly didn't know what to do. She did have thoughts about giving up on this marriage, but when her parents really gave her the freedom, for some reason, she felt a bit empty in her heart. Just then, Lin Lei, who went back into the room, suddenly popped his head out from the door and said, "Brother-in-law woke up." When Su Cheng woke up, he opened his eyes and saw the lights on the ceiling. To be exact, he saw all the electric circuitry and structures inside the lights. When she closed his eyes and opened them again, he could even see through to the materials that composed the lights. He panicked and looked away to the oxygen supply equipment on his side. He shockingly discovered that he could also see through the outer steel layer and look at the oxygen gas inside. His vision seemed like it could penetrate any object's outer layer to see the internal structure. Su Cheng lifted his two hands, and he was shocked. He saw his bones, muscles, and the entangled blood vessels. He also saw his pulse was pumping more violently as he became more nervous. All in all, he was able to see through the skin to get an exceptionally clear look on the internal structure of his body. Su Cheng was dumbfounded, and when he raised his head to look at Lin Lei, he just saw a skull on a skeleton with the jaw slightly moving and even making sounds. "Brother-in-law, are you all right?" This directly sent Su Cheng jumping onto his feet, terrified. The jump stretched his wounds and he gritted his teeth at the feeling of pain. It was at that moment that he was sure that he wasn't dreaming. However, it seemed like something was wrong with his eyes now.